In today's video, we're going to talk about how you can become a millionaire with a low salary. A remarkable case is the story of Ronald Read, who, after his death in June 2014, had his face featured in all the media due to a secret he hid from everyone, including his own family. Ronald managed to amass $8 million, a significant fortune, and he definitely wasn't one of the classic millionaires you see around. Ronald was different. He grew up on a poor farm, completed high school, and worked as a janitor with a minimum wage for most of his life. In the 2000s, custodians earned around $22,000 per year, which Ronald managed to turn into $8 million. And I know how he did it. The first lesson is the wealth formula. The most important thing Ronald knew was the secret wealth formula that schools don't teach you. The formula is the amount of money you receive compared to the amount of money you have going out. So, income minus expenses equals cash flow. If you have a positive cash flow, you have money left to invest. If you have a negative cash flow, you're in debt. Suppose your monthly income is $5,000. If your cash flow is $0 or negative, it means your expenses are $5,000 or more. In this case, you'll never be financially free. If you spend between $0 and $5,000, then a positive cash flow can be achieved after saving enough. You can make your money work for you in order to generate future revenue. Lesson number 2. How much money you've saved at your current age is the key to measuring if you're on track to becoming a millionaire by 65. You need to know this so you can adjust your finances before it's too late. If you begin saving at the age of 20, you will need to save $204 a month to retire as a millionaire at the age of 65. If you begin saving at the age of 30, you must save $443 every month. At the age of 40, $1,200 per month. At 50, the monthly payment is $2,795 and so on. The earlier you begin, like with most things in life, the easier it will be to accomplish the desired outcomes. But since I don't know your personal financial situation, these calculations are based on some assumptions. The first is that you start with nothing. The second is that you need to increase your investment by 7% each year. And the third is that you increase your monthly contributions each year by 2% to keep up with inflation. So if you put $100 in the first year, you'll put $102 in the second year, and so on. Of course, these mathematical calculations change based on many factors, but the sooner you start saving, the better. A piece of advice I want to give you is to stop budgeting or tracking every expense. Do you believe that wealthy individuals have Excel spreadsheets that track all of their expenses? No, I don't think so. They don't have a budget, but they control their expenses in a truly unique way that makes it easier and saves them a lot of time. But don't get me wrong, a detailed budget could still be a good idea if you have a spending problem or if you're not financially stable. That is what I and the rich do. My paycheck is automatically deposited into my checking account, and I transfer the amount I want to save to a savings account and the amount I want to spend to a spending account every month. My spending account includes my fixed monthly bills, living expenses, etc. Here's the trick. Since I know my fixed monthly expenses, I can set spending goals for food, entertainment, travel, shopping, etc. Whatever I don't use at the end of the month remains in my account. The third lesson is how to increase your investments. So, back to income, and it won't be what you expect. According to one survey, more than 75% of millionaires come from low-income families. The one thing that all millionaires have in common is that they have many income sources, usually 3 to 7. Ronald Read worked 2 jobs, one as a janitor and one that I'll tell you about later. Having many revenue streams has 2 major advantages. One is reducing your dependence on a single income, including your full-time job. You may believe that your primary job is risk-free, but it is actually riskier than you believe. Because the moment your boss quits you, you're bankrupt. The second benefit is that you may boost your cash flow formula. If your monthly costs are $3,000, you may attempt living more frugally and cut your spending down to $2,400. But there will always be a limit to how much you can save, because surviving on nothing but rice and water also requires money. However, if you can earn just a little bit more, say $100 each week, your cash flow will improve dramatically. You may go the typical path of working extra, asking for a raise, or even seeking a better job to make more money. Another option is to do what I used to do when I worked full-time: start a side job. It's a great way to earn extra money. Depending on the type of work you start, it might require a few extra hours, but trust me, it'll be worth it in the end. That being said, I understand that creating a new income source is probably the last thing on your mind. Lesson number 4, you need to go beyond the wealth formula. Ronald didn't become a multi-millionaire just by perfecting this cash flow formula. He was hiding another secret, and when he died, the truth was revealed. Ronald's secrets were actually unknown even to his family. Throughout his life, he had invested in around 95 different stocks. After reviewing all his investment options, I decided to give you some advice. It is critical to invest wisely. I'll show you the simplest method to get started. But first, here's a critical error to avoid. Day trading is definitely something you've heard a lot about. Many advertisements on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube show people examining charts and buying and selling 20 times per day in the hopes of generating a rapid profit. You might think it's really exciting and the key to getting rich. What they don't tell you is this: 90% of day traders are losers. Ronald never traded because of his knowledge. He was an investor who focused on the fundamentals of a company, which means he analyzed the company's intrinsic value and made sure the investment made sense quantitatively and qualitatively. So he wasn't going to invest his life savings in risky stocks like GameStop and AMC. Lesson 5. Ronald Reed's plan was to invest long-term. His money had accumulated over decades, and he continued to put a percentage of his janitor's wage to his investments every month. Assume you save $1,000 and earn 10% interest in the first year. You would earn $100. You'd earn $110 in the second year. Why? Because your investment is now worth $1,100 thanks to the interest earned in the first year. Your investment is worth $1,210 after the second year. So your third year interest would be $120. If we graphically represent this process, we can see an exponential growth curve. This is why Albert Einstein referred to compound interest as the world's 8th marvel. This is how Warren Buffett made 99% of his fortune. Lesson 6. Your response to any unexpected events is what matters most. What would you do if the stock market were to crash? You'd probably sell out of fear of losing your life savings. Ronald saw 11 stock market crashes but always kept onto his money because he knew the secret. The best option was to keep investing for the long run. As a result, never panic in such situations. Lesson 7. What intrigued me the most was how Ronald learned so much about investments, and the answer I found was quite simple. Ronald went to the library and read the Wall Street Journal and other free publications. He spoke with his neighbors who worked at banks in order to understand more about money and how things work. And fortunately, you're doing the same thing right now by watching this free video. Even if you have to pay $8 to read a book, you're effectively getting decades of information from the author for a few cents. Lesson 8. Nobody is perfect, not even Ronald Reed. Despite his intelligence, several of his investments flopped badly. Despite these setbacks, he continued investing because his investments were diversified with other stocks. We all make mistakes, but I'm here to tell you never to give up. However, keep in mind that one thing you can't go wrong with is how you save money. Thanks for watching Ninja Investor. Subscribe for more weekly investment tips. Leave a comment below. Happy investing!